Hey, did you know that TGSTS is on YouTube and Instagram? We'd love to hear your episode suggestions or just chat with you about life. So find us at hashtag TGSTS and follow, like, subscribe, comment, and share. Thank you. Cheers.
And so, I mean, people talk about it and joke about it, but it's like, okay, you take your pictures on Instagram and you go travel and go hiking in these beautiful places and all this stuff,
Ooh,
but like you gonna bathe each other and wipe each other ass and feed each other spoon fed baby food.
applesauce.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, what are we doing? Can you do that too? Or are you just down
Yeah.
for the travel, for the gram? You're doing it for the gram, you know? Hey Mo, good morning.
Hey girl, how you doing?
I'm okay. Try not to freeze my ass off.
Same.
You guys get some snow?
Yup. I see all your beautiful snow.
Oh yes,
Ugh.
and it's beautiful when it's on the outside and I'm on the inside, you know. That's how I
Yes.
like it. Cuddled
Shout
up with a blanket, some coffee. Coffee.
Yeah, shout out to my neighbor who shoveled my sidewalk. That was so sweet
Oh, that's so sweet.
because that is a task.
It is. It sure is.
Like I
It's
wish I knew how to
cold and
make
you're
pies
sweating
and
trying to
stuff.
do it. Ooh.
Like
Ooh.
here's a pie. Here you go.
Pie? Is that what you said?
Yeah. I said I wish I knew how to make pies.
You trying to give out pie?
Like here's some pie. Thank you so much. I
Oh
remember
my
the day when they used to
goodness.
do that.
Yeah, like a thank you, a little baked goods,
Yeah.
a little Sara Lee cake.
That's probably what it was.
Oh, that's sweet. That's sweet. Well, what's up?
I don't know. We got flaked on.
Dang. Reason season, baby. Anyways,
um,
what's up?
no, but we were talking, I think we were texting about this Instagram post about when you're in relationships, like when you're in relationships, is when you're dating, it's not the time to post cute pictures or something like that. I don't remember.
Yeah, I think he was a pastor or something,
Oh,
right?
wow. Okay.
Yeah, tatted up. He cute looking
Yeah.
dude, saying his little bit, but he was saying something about um when you're dating, it's not the time to make memories and to, have fun and be all cutesy and take pictures and all that kind of stuff. That's when you do the hard stuff, the
Hmm.
hard questions, the hard conversations. And then once you get married, you have 50, 60, 70, 80 years of making memories.
Yeah.
Um, and I guess I never thought about it that way, but people are doing it backwards
Hmm.
and you're not having the hard conversations. You're not digging through the nitty gritty or whatever, the nitty gritty. Who the hell am I? With your date or your boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever. And so all that comes after you've been married. You did all the cute shit, and now you married, and you're like, damn, I never found out your political affiliation or what you think
Hmm.
about. I don't know, Trump. No, I don't know. I have no idea. Like whatever your thoughts are on. Um,
I think that's intentional. I think that's what makes dating such a high stakes game. And I mean, I'd hate to
high
say game.
stakes. Damn, high stakes.
It's high stakes because this is your future. If you're going into relationships and things and marriage and things like that.
Hmm.
So if you're dating, I feel like people know these things. They just kind of either pretend not to see it or just are trying to get to the next stage, almost like a video game, trying to get to the next stage
It is a
without
game,
getting
but
caught, without getting found out, or whatever you want to
oh
call it, without their true
gosh.
self. Like Chris Rock said, the representative,
Yeah.
long the representative can hold on. And so I feel like I don't know what it's like because I just don't naturally trust people like that. But I've
Like I don't trust nobody.
I've met a few people who said they met someone and then fell in love and the person just completely changed. Like they
And
never,
they probably didn't change. They probably didn't. That's probably who they always were.
yeah,
And
that's
I, I
crazy.
I think a lot of times people fall in love with the idea of being with somebody, regardless of who the
Mhm.
person is. They don't, you're falling in love with experiences. You're falling in love with, hey, I have somebody to go to the movies with now. I have somebody to sleep with and to cuddle next to. I have somebody to call if I get a flat tire. They fall in love with that. They don't
Mm-hmm.
fall in love with the individual. Like, what if you didn't have all those things? What if you just had to
Yeah.
sit in a room and talk to this person for the rest of your life? Do you love that person, or are you loving all the extra outside stuff, the friends they bring into your life, the
Access.
experiences, the
Mm-hmm.
access, all that stuff? And I think um, that's why I think Love is Blind. The premise is good, you know,
Mm-hmm.
because you're just locked in a room talking to these people, and there's no extras. Um,
They need to add smell to that because something off.
Smell-o-vision.
Something
I'm
off. I
watching
think some
Love is
people.
Blind Sweden. I'm so invested. I watched Brazil. I watched all the seasons of Love is Blind Brazil,
What?
and Love is Blind Sweden came out, and I was like, okay, let's see what these Swedes are doing, And they don't look the way I thought they would look. You
Mm-hmm.
have a vision in your head of what Swedish
Like
people look
some
like.
blondes and stuff.
Yeah, tall, blonde. Yeah, they're not all like that.
Okay, I love
And I
it.
was like, okay, diversity, okay, because obviously people live in different parts of the world that aren't from,
Mm-hmm.
But it was only 3 episodes. I forgot that Netflix does you like that, so I was ready to just binge it, and I was like, oh.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, but the premise. But then the thing is, it's getting to know the individual and then the outside world too. So it's all of it combined. And I
Yeah.
think that's why this guy's message was on point, was you have to really get through all the stuff, all the ugly and all that stuff before you get married, because people don't change.
Mm-mm.
They're who they are. You just choose whether or not you accept it as accept reality, or are you just happy to be holding hands with somebody at the beach? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like that's not sufficient. And for me, I feel like maybe that's part of my troll characteristics.
True.
Just be you gotta troll. You gotta troll to find out the real meat of a
And
person.
people don't like that. I think that's part of it, is they don't like to, they just want to do the surface stuff.
Yeah.
They want to
It
feel
feels
good.
good.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
feels good.
And that's
Mm,
that's the bigger question. Like, what is the weight of discomfort? Like, people are
mm.
so afraid of being. I don't know. YouTube be doing me dirty, but now because I've fallen asleep to it, they keep showing me like these fatal attractions. So, what do you call it? Romance murders or whatever they're
Oh my
called.
gosh.
Yeah. So just partners killing each other. And it's all like, oh, they had half the time it's somebody cheating and somebody pregnant. And then, like
Oh
they're
my
so
gosh.
crazy. Like, how crazy can you be to think that it's better to kill somebody, take them off the face of the earth, and risk all of the consequences of that than to face the consequences of your actions?
People
Like,
crazy.
people live in this fake made up world, and it's just like, I
You
can't.
bring things to my life that I never knew existed, okay? Like your YouTube or your like social media algorithms. Well, I've never even thought. I'm not big on I think that's like a popular thing with women now, is like the murder, true crime, that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. My mom's into that too now. She's watching all that stuff, but I just can't get into that. I don't want to know. Like,
I
I'm just
don't
like,
know
different
how
people out
I,
here offing each other. Oh.
yeah, I don't know how I started watching it and got into it.
Mm-mm. We need a reset. You need to start watching some, I don't even, Hallmark movies or something. put the
Shoot, I
put a
started watching
positive
those too,
spin.
and Tubi.
Oh
That's how
my
bad it is.
gosh. Oh my gosh. Yeah, well, I mean, that just shows people just unstable. That's a whole nother level of a whole nother piece of this conversation, is just, but those are the things you need to find out about people before you get locked into like a marriage.
Hmm.
Um, or maybe people
Little
just, their
things.
goal is the wedding day. I think a lot of people have that. The
Yeah.
goal is the wedding day, the event, the dress.
Mhm.
And then what comes after that, who knows?
And that's a good point too. Like, why do we have to do these traditions? Like, why?
They're
Like, I was just,
traditions.
I-
Isn't that the
yeah,
point of a tradition?
just because somebody said to do it, and it's
Yeah.
just like, I don't know. If I were ever to get married, I'm not wearing a white dress. I don't ever wear white. Like, why should I have to do that? Because somebody
Are
told me
you
to.
saying you can't wear a white dress on your wedding? Mo.
You silly.
I
But it's like I never
think
wear
it's
white.
cool when people wear different color dresses to the I saw an Instagram post where this woman had on like this beautiful like burgundy, it was a wedding gown, but it was in
Hmm.
like a burgundy, like almost the shade of your lipstick. It was beautiful, like a beautiful rich color, and all of her bridesmaids were white. And I was like, that's beautiful.
Ooh,
Like, it's
yeah,
just different. And it was unique to what she wanted to do. So I always think that's cool.
yeah. And it's like, how much of the day is for you? Like, that would
Yeah.
be. This is why I'm single, I think, because day would be for me. It'd be like
That
my
is your
day.
day.
yeah,
Yeah.
our day, but it's like a lot
No,
of
your
people
day. No, just kidding.
worry about everybody else and the stressed out. Like, no, I'm not going to be stressed out on my one day. Not that my
Yep.
one day, but you know what I mean.
I wasn't stressed.
Oh
I
yeah,
was
you definitely were not stressed. Thank God.
I was drinking my Rockstar. That limo was hot as hell. It was like some busted limo that showed up for us. Makeup wasn't done half the, by the time pictures came. I mean, it was whatever. At a certain
Hold
point, it's
on.
whatever.
Um, but yeah, it's like you definitely weren't stressed out. I spilled wine, and you remember how that happened.
I was drunk by that point. I was done. I was so wasted. And that's how it should be. It's a celebration. I don't
Yeah.
care. Girl, the wine got out the dress. So who cares?
Hmm.
Okay. And it wasn't in the pictures. Who cares? That's how I feel. Who cares?
Yeah, exactly. It's like it's your time to enjoy, let everybody cater to you and enjoy your
Yeah. And
day.
everybody else enjoy. It's a celebration,
Yeah,
bitches. You know?
exactly. Everybody
I
have a good time, but you're not stressing like, you got the
I
support
don't
system.
understand that type of you stress
Yeah.
before, but on the day you just let it be.
Yeah, just let
Um,
it be. Live your day. Like, I just want to live my days. I don't care. Like, I feel like everybody's doing stuff for show, dating for
yeah.
show. That's why I did like I think that was my point earlier in this. People are willing to kill somebody versus admit the truth because they're so afraid of what other people think. And I'm never gonna make come to terms with that because that's just society. That's just being a human being.
This is making me think of another topic that we were gonna do, and I think it's bleeding perfectly into it. It's just how everything is made up. Like I
Hmm.
saw an Instagram reel the other day, and it was this woman sitting in her car in sweatpants, and she was drinking like a frappuccino or something like that. And she was just like, it's 2024. This is me sitting here with no pressure of a resolution. I'm not going to start a diet I don't like. I'm not going to start exercising to the point of exhaustion. I'm going to
Hmm.
sleep. I'm going to eat whatever treats I feel like. I'm going to be present in every moment and I'm just going to be happy. I'm going to do what makes me happy. And it was just like, oh, like why are the gyms and the diet commercials like out of control right now? Like, why are they put like it's
Yeah.
always this push of like, this is what you're gonna do. This is driving consumerism, making you feel bad about the way you look. Like, love your body. This is
Hmm.
what it does. If it wants a cookie right now, you feed it a cookie. If you want to go
Hmm.
for a run, go for you know what I mean? It's just this need for, I don't know, times of the year or commercials or
Hmm.
whoever advertise whatever to make you feel like you have to do this thing, you have to be this thing, you have to hit these milestones. Um, I love the idea of like, fuck that. I'm gonna do what makes me feel good, period.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna have guilt about it.
I'm gonna be the
Um,
crazy old lady. I see it
yeah,
coming. And it's like they are the freest, the most free, I don't know, the people
yeah.
out there because they're able to just live. They don't care. Like they're the people who dance as if no one is looking. I think I'm
I
at that
love
stage of life
that.
right now with
Yes.
it. Um,
Just
but yeah,
enjoy and live.
this is our one life. This is our one life get. And that as far as we know. And it's like we're sitting here worried about what other people think, not living our lives, not being able to love the people we love because of some societal requirements or
Mhm.
something. It's like, why do we care? Why do I care who you're banging? Like,
Oh,
what's that got to do with me? As long as
unless
they're
we
not
both
hurting
bang.
you, right?
Then we need to have some conversations.
as long as they're not hurting you or anything, it's like, then what's the problem? So I don't know. I
Yeah.
feel like it's a lot of minding other people's business, not minding our own business, and not living for ourselves, living for the
Hmm.
clout, living to impress other people, and not willing to have those hard conversations because it's scary and it feels
Yeah.
funny. And nobody wants to feel funny. I thought about that. I'm like, man, over the pandemic, I drank a lot, and I didn't
Hmm.
want to feel funny. I didn't want to feel that discomfort that came along with being in this situation I've never been in before,
Hmm.
quarantined alone and by the government. It's like I never
Damn.
such
He
a
said by
thing.
the government.
Yeah, so it's like trying to cope
People
with
want to be
that.
numb.
But
Yeah.
coping skills, I think that's another thing we need, like positive coping skills, and that not robbing Peter to pay Paul kind of thing, where it's
Hmm.
like,
I don't know. I mean, I'm thinking about just the dating part, and I'm trying to think about. I think age plays a big part of it. And I think
mm-hmm,
when you're in your 20s or your teens, even, you're not thinking about hard conversations. You don't even know what your viewpoints are on half the
Yeah.
things. So you don't know how to broach those like serious topics. And the thing about it is people do change. I mean, if you're meeting somebody in your 21, 22, whatever, they're not going to be the same person at 40 or whatever. So I think this is even more important for people who are dating in their 30s, which I think is a lot of people dating in their 30s and 40s in
Hmm.
older age as people are getting married older. Like I think that that's an important thing is these conversations. You got to meet their whole family. You got to
Yeah.
know, what is your vice? What do you do? Are you like, I don't know. I don't know what they could do. I mean, there's
Gotta
all kind of
stop.
crazy stuff people do. Yeah, you do. And we live in a time when, I have a friend who just got on Bumble, I think.
Hmm.
Hasn't dated in like 6, 7 years, hasn't been, just been out the game, just not interested. And
Hmm.
she's like, this year is gonna be my year. So, she did that. And then she was like, this person's LinkedIn. And I was like, good to know everybody does this. Everybody
Hmm.
is one for safety, and two, you got to know who you're dealing with. I mean, like you said,
Yeah.
these people out here doing crazy stuff, and often they're baby mamas and stuff. Like you can't just,
Married, or I've that's
yep,
happened to me quite a couple times. Like,
unbelievable.
it's like, man, you gotta check them out because people lie. Like, why? Just be. And there is a consequence to being authentic and being truthful. You might end up alone a lot of the time, like I do, and you just have to make peace with being. You either want to choose
Loving yourself.
authenticity, or are you so unbearable to be around your own
Mm-hmm.
self, that you have to forget yourself and just be, whatever,
Settle.
yeah,
Take
whatever they
take
tell
whatever.
you.
Yeah.
And then it
Ugh.
pops out. And it's like, it's
What
gonna
pops
pop
out?
out. The real you
Oh, I was
pops
like, what?
out.
Where's this conversation going?
Then it popped out, girl. Like, you can't
We.
hide. So it's might as well just to do it from the beginning versus tricking somebody and they might kill you, like from what I'm seeing on YouTube. It's
Yep.
crazy.
Yeah. Oh, I'm trying. Like I'm thinking of like past relationships, and I think I was fairly young, but I don't remember having really. I think the first time a really serious conversation came up for me was when I was like 28 or so. I think 2008. Yeah, and that was the election. It was Obama McCain,
Mhm.
and that's when stuff like hit the fan. Like that's when we had started having real conversations about race because it was an interracial relationship,
Mm.
race, politics, the consequences of our politics, and we had been together for almost 4 years.
Oh, wow.
So to not have had, and I think it takes an event like that to spark conversations. I mean,
Hmm.
race was always an undercurrent, but this was like, there's a black man running for president. This is serious.
Hmm.
And then it just, it just illuminated things. And I feel like that happened in my marriage when Trump ran against Hillary. It brought up conversations, like you think you have an idea of someone's viewpoints on the world or things like that, and then an event will happen that will spark more conversation. So
Hmm.
and I think a lot of people divorced because of that. And that's something I think we talked about in a previous episode, but it's just, you got to have those conversations before you're locked in with somebody forever, because then it's a really
Yeah.
expensive endeavor to get out of it.
Or if you're
Messy,
just being
kids,
yourself. Oh, yeah,
all
kids.
that. Divorces, I mean, it's
Ugh.
good to have the tough dating rather than having the tough divorce. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? Like
Yeah, and people be
it's worth
spending some
it.
coinage, six figures
Yep.
on divorce. No, thank you. No,
And then
thank
all
you.
the therapy needed for all the parties involved after, because that's
Yeah.
traumatic. Yeah.
And then the after effects, like if you have kids or property.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oof. Oof.
But
Yeah,
by
no.
all means, feel good and post pictures on Instagram while you're dating and not have the, I mean, come on. Like
I've never
it's
gotten to the point of dating where I could post somebody on Instagram. And I think that's like, I don't know if I ever would,
I think you're
because
too
that,
mature for that. I don't know if mature is a word, but I don't think, I think you separate in the sense that like things that are truly meaning, like I don't see you just posting willy-nilly. I'm using all these
yeah,
old people
my cat,
terms.
a good post, but
Yeah.
not,
But
not
like
a,
your relation, yeah.
yeah. Because first of all, what am I having to
For what?
post for what? I think if I
Yeah.
were younger, I would have, because it would have been like, look at me, I finally got
That's that
somebody.
C word. That's that
Look at
C
my
word.
person. Look at me.
I
And now,
did it.
I did it, y'all. Now it's just gonna be like I'm gonna be too busy enjoying the person and
Yes.
not, and it's still posting stuff about being single and how shit it is, because that's just what I do.
Oh God. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I don't know. That was really I feel like that's common sense too, but I feel like that reel or whatever it was you sent me was like,
Mhm.
wow. Um,
Because I always quoted that Must Love Dog scene where John Cusack is like, let's just tell everybody our worst secrets, tell us the worst things about ourselves, and just get it out of the way. And no one does that. We, like Chris
mm-mm.
Rock said, we send our representative. We want to put our best foot forward. And I feel like like we've talked about this before, but there's got to be a line between putting your worst foot forward and your best foot forward. Like, I don't want to
Show me the middle
repel
ground.
you. Yeah, I don't want to repel you, but it's like I also don't want to be
Fake.
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 Yeah.
I think that's what it is though, because you've got to show them something that's going to draw them in, right? Like that's just human nature. Like
Manipulation. You
if
gotta yeah, human
yeah, you
manipulation.
gotta, you gotta, I don't know what it is, but you gotta make them interested somehow. And I
Hmm.
think it's that little piece of buy-in that makes them want to work through and get over all the extra stuff. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like you can't just
Yeah.
show up with bad teeth and a attitude. You know what I mean? Like you can't be broke from jump, or
Sometimes
I
you
don't know.
can't.
I mean, so I guess, depending on the person you're dealing with, but I think you want to show them the best. You put your push-up bra on or whatever,
Mhm.
whatever women do or whatever
And it's
men do.
fun, yeah. But I don't
Yeah,
know. I try to be my authentic self,
authentic.
but not too much. I mean, I've tried the fake route and it was just uncomfortable. Because, like, for instance, with fake hair, it was always like, oh gosh, what if they see me with my real hair? Like, is this a drastic difference from fake hair to real hair? So little, and it just was such a freedom to just be like, okay, I got my own hair now. I don't have to worry about taking off a wig or wig falling off.
I wonder though if I mean, because those are like superficial outside things. Push-up bras, weave, stuff like that.
Men are
Um,
visual.
yeah. I Here's a question, because I know what I've done in the past or whatever, but like, could you do both? Or do you think that it's not being authentic to yourself? Like, what if you did put in, wear a wig and do, I mean, I don't know what other things you could do. Women wear push up
Mhm.
bras, they wear Spanx or what,
I've
I
done
don't know,
all of
makeup,
that. Yeah.
all that stuff. If you do
Yeah, I've
all
done
that
all of that.
stuff, is that still compromising who you are to package your authentic self up in a way that makes somebody want to unwrap the package and get to know your authentic self? Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I
Or do
think
you
that's a
just
part
show
of
up in your
people.
house coat with your bonnet on? You know what I'm saying? Like
I
what
think
like
that's
what are we
like
doing?
it's a
Like what's
ritual for some people, like makeup. They have spent thousands of
yeah, I
dollars
I don't I
on it.
can't understand that.
And it's like,
Hours and layers.
for what? Y'all tricking people and just gonna like
But if
glob
they
all over
like
their
but if they
collar.
think it's
It's a hobby. It's an art.
beautiful, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
so is hair and so
Yeah.
is fashion. I mean,
It just
and
happens
I
to be on
think
your bodies.
yeah, and I think you and I are similar in the sense that we're like, that's a lot. You doing a lot.
Hmm.
We don't have time for a lot. Like I'm tired. Like, you know what I mean? I'm too old to be spending
Yeah.
3 hours putting on layers on my
I'm
face.
trying to go to Sephora so they can tell me what to do
What for like skincare or what? I love Sephora. I'm obsessed right now.
for makeup. Like
Makeup.
what, like the foundation, the highlighter,
That you know what?
concealer.
Makeup has changed so much since we were younger. Like so much.
Mhm.
The contouring situation. I think I learned about it when we first started this podcast, and I'm like, I still don't know how to do it. Like it's just
Oh,
lines on
they've
your
been
face, dots.
contouring.
That's the first I knew about it. Like I
It
had
would
no
be in
idea.
those teen magazines and stuff too, with the dots and
Oh,
stuff.
I can't do it.
Yeah, I
I
can't
found the
do
stuff that
I
I
can't do
like.
eyebrows.
Yeah, the eyebrows, I can't. Well, and the weird thing is that changes. All of that changes. So that's, I guess maybe that's more of my question too, is like all the outside stuff changes. Fashion changes, trends change. Eyebrows used to be thin, now they're thick, they're full, they're laminated, this, that, whatever. All that changes. So I feel like a lot of it is just packaging,
Hmm.
but the insides, the true
You just hide the inside, like
you.
Peggy and Al, you know?
Yeah.
you know.
Peggy and Al. Love and marriage.
Al like those jugs, you know, and
That's all he liked.
but
He
yeah,
didn't care
like I
about
know
anything
people
else.
like that, like who stayed in relationships and marriages for sexual reasons. Like it was that good. So I'm like,
Damn.
pick your poison. But for me, I can't, I don't know. I'm too sensitive. Like it hurts my stomach and my chest if I'm not
Damn.
comfortable.
Oh, oh.
So what would what you are on one today?
It hurts your stomach and your chest if you're not comfortable, like with the person.
Yeah,
Like
like I can
to be
feel it
physical with the person or just being in their
in their
presence.
presence.
Mm.
Yeah, that's
Mm.
very important to me. I don't like that feeling.
The
So
chemistry,
the
the
chemistry.
comfortability, comfort,
Yeah,
level of comfort.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think at the end of the day, at the very end of the day, I mean, I would hope that people are still doing it when they're like 90 or whatever. Or actually, no, not that, but like just
They
that,
are though.
I know, but like I envision my future and it's like, okay, it's got to be somebody who once sex is off the table, maybe function doesn't
Hmm.
work anymore, things like that. Like you still have something,
Hmm.
and I feel like you've got to have it's friendship or companionship or the idea that there's more to you than what you're offering me at the age of 20 or 30.
Yes.
Like there's more, like our souls have a connection. We've seen each
Yes.
other through all the phases of life. And even though we have differences or disagreements, we still enjoy each other's company and
Mhm.
we
And y'all
want to be
wiping each
around
other
each other.
asses and stuff at this point.
Yeah, I mean that's
You know, it's like
I mean, I don't know. I done had 3 kids. I feel like if my husband needed me to, I would, you just,
you just do
what's
it with
another ass? What's another
thing.
ass to wipe? You know what I
That's
mean?
the
Like I
point.
just
It's
feel,
like
and people, I mean, that's love. I mean, you care for your
exactly.
parents. If your parents are aging and they get to a point where you have to bathe them, you do
Yep, been
that.
there.
That's love. Yeah.
Hmm.
And so I mean, people talk about it and joke about it, but it's like, okay, you take your pictures on Instagram and you go travel and go hiking in these beautiful places and all this stuff,
Ooh,
but like you gonna bathe each other and wipe each other ass and feed each other spoon fed baby food.
applesauce.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, what are we doing? Can you do that too? Or are you just down
Yeah.
for the travel, for the gram? You're doing it for the gram.
But I feel like we're different. We're just, I don't know. It seems like we're always against the
We're built
popular.
different. Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember I used to on MySpace, I used to post about diaper changing. Like I always thought about,
It's the
no, well,
MySpace days.
context. Wait, not like being elderly and being with someone and having to change their diaper, like that the level of love. Like I always said, could you change my diapers? Like that would always be in the back of
Damn.
my head. Like I
I
was
hope you're
like
not asking that on a first date. That may be where we have a problem. You like, can you handle my diaper rash? Can you do that for me? Damn.
you
He's
change
like,
my
this was just
diaper.
coffee. We supposed to be meeting for coffee, and you talking about diapers.
I need to know. It all the buck stops here. But yeah, so I was doing that in my 20s, and I feel like there's got to be a middle ground because I think I was too serious. I was like, like I was kind of like the pastor,
Yeah,
and I didn't let myself have too much fun because I'm
fun.
well, I'm not a vessel. Like even though I was acting like one half the time, it was like I'm not a vessel.
Or you are a
Um,
vessel, but you're so much more than that too.
yeah,
I mean, you're all of that. I don't
exactly.
know. I don't
So
know.
it's
It's just
interesting to
weird.
see. Yeah, it's interesting to see people are scared of the uneasy feelings and the being
The
discomfort,
ickiness,
the icks.
the
Yes, that's
icks. I
and it's
don't
like
know.
you know what, the icks happen and you get over it.
Mm.
You live to see another day if you're lucky. Well, they say you're lucky, so.
I don't know. I mean, I also feel like there's some things that are just like these are deal breakers. And then I think we have to be realistic about our deal breakers too when you're having these conversations. Like not everything is the end of the world. Some things you can work through. Some things you guys can talk about, you or agree to disagree even, you
Hmm.
know? Um,
A lot of
but
it.
a lot of it, yeah, because that's just
And,
life. I mean,
but I feel
it's
like people want to convince you because I'm just a
That's
good agree
ego.
to dis I'm agree to disagree kind of person. I'm like, okay, like you don't you're not vegan. Okay. I'm not trying to make you vegan. Like
Right.
they'll go on and on and it's just like, okay, like they're
Yeah.
like trying to get a rise out of me almost. And it's just like
Yeah,
I
I'm too
don't
tired for I'm too over that shit.
yeah, ain't nobody got time for that. Do you, boo boo?
Or just it's one of those things. I think in the beginning, my husband and I have different political views, and always for some reason this conversation has all been about politics for me. I have no idea why. But but just at a certain point the arguing is not productive.
Mhm.
Or I mean, you have your viewpoints based on how you were raised, what the life you live, et cetera, et cetera. I have mine. Great, we know each other, we've come to a point of understanding. Agree to disagree, period. And just be
Period.
respectful from there. Yeah. And it doesn't have to be the end, because there's so many other
Mhm.
facets of a person um that are worth loving and staying around for, and all of those things. So I think it's just a matter of, I mean, when you're dating, I guess you could be like, oh, I don't even want to deal with somebody who has a different viewpoint or is vegan
Mhm.
or whatever. But you could be missing out on
Mhm.
somebody, like, because of something that's so simple that you can agree to disagree on, or whatever. I don't know. I don't know. I'm
I
glad
feel
I'm not dating right now, because I
Yeah,
would
that's what
lose my
everybody
mind.
said. I feel like if you're walking in your authenticity, then it's going to show. I mentioned this a few times how I got canceled on because the guy looked at my Instagram and said, "Oh, you don't like Trump? I'm a Trump supporter."
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
And it's like by just living my life and being myself, he was able to see that. And
Yeah.
so we were able to quickly say, okay, this is not a map. I was not
Yeah.
expecting to be at all. So, but so and even today, I may want to engage with a Trump supporter just to hear what they have to say,
Yeah.
just out of curiosity. So
Or what their reasoning is, or
yeah,
I don't
a
know.
lot of people feel like Trump gave the black people money, because of the all of the COVID funds
Yeah.
and everything.
Yeah.
And so people are like, we want Trump back for
Yeah, but
checks,
you
like
think
at
he's
the
still
ignorant
giving
level.
checks though? You think he's still
Yeah,
going to give check? Like there's no reason to give checks anymore.
there's no
That's
reason.
silly.
Yeah.
That's
It's just,
silly.
they
But
think they're gonna get some more checks. I mean, it's like, what are these checks doing? That's what, like, never
and
mind.
where's your last check? You still got that? Did you invest it in something? Is it still
Probably
returning to
some
you, or
shoes.
did you go buy the new iPhone? What did you do
Yeah.
with that check, you know? So, whatever.
Dang.
Yeah. What? Well, I
You
mean,
was
I just think
going in.
it's silly.
Yeah.
It's silly. But I mean, I don't know. Just relationships, they're not supposed to be easy, I don't think.
Mm-mm. Why not?
They're supposed to be worthwhile. I don't think they're supposed to be
Oh,
easy.
okay.
If it's always easy, if anything is always easy, do you enjoy it as much as
Yeah.
something that you had to really plant and water and grow and like nurture into something? I
Ooh,
feel
we
like
got 2 minutes. That's a good question. Do you feel like you still have to keep your husband? Like, do you feel like you have to
he could
behave
go.
like he could leave you? Like, do you feel like you have to keep up a certain level of looks or
No.
behaviors or something? Okay.
I don't
As
think I have
I've
to
seen
keep a
people
certain
on
level of
YouTube talk
looks.
about stuff like that.
I don't that's the superficial. I don't think that he and I have superficial outside things. We enjoy each
Hmm.
other's appearances, I mean, obviously,
Hmm.
but I mean, I've had 3 kids. He never makes comments about the way I look other than to praise, which is like,
Hmm.
okay. Um, but I've never, and this is just my personality and my history with
Hmm.
infidelity and things like that, is I've never fully comfortable sitting comfortably in this person will never leave, because people do,
Hmm.
you know. But I don't, that's not a fear I have in my head or often. I don't,
Yeah.
yeah, but I know it's a possibility. It's always a possibility, I guess. But yeah, I don't understand people in relationships who are living in that fear all the time of, do I look right? Let me put my makeup on before I see my husband? Like, that's ridiculous.
I don't know if you saw the comments when I was on that this podcast and they were talking about um the man said his wife still goes to the gym because she knows she still has to earn him. And it was kind of like the way he said it,
Earn.
like what
That's
if something
terrible.
happened? Like that's the like
Mm-mm.
yes, I know that she needs to take care of herself, but like what if something happened? It's almost like they're like deuces.
Yeah, that's, and your value is tied to
Hmm.
physically how, yeah. Mm-mm. I don't
And
like that.
that's why it's so important to get through the dirty stuff in dating, because they just go off of these physical things and then the real stuff comes in. It's like, ooh,
Mm-mm. I
but
don't like that. Anyways,
anywho, well, that was
maybe
lovely.
we can share some stuff on our socials about questions that we would ask now to get
Okay,
the dirty out of the way. Let's do that. Yeah.
I like that.
All right.
All
Let's
right,
go.
girl. Bye.
Okay.
Love
Bye.
you.
Love you too. Bye.